My neighbors are getting a new roof and I'm jealous. It looks so good. See, roofs and changing tires excites a girl like me. Hey, you guys, it's your girl Kamika. I have been on my video mojo lately because I got time. Cause so because we are still probably quarantining and chilling, hopefully not probably, I am. I hope you guys are still quarantining and chilling until we get over this. I thought it would be a good idea to come and give you all some encouragement and to give you 10 things that you should still be doing during this quarantine. So, I'm going to shoot off the cuff. I was going to do this live because I wanted to provide a forum for people to be able to talk because, after a while, you get a little stir crazy, you get a little bit of cabin fever, and you want to talk to different people. But I think for posterity's sake, I'll be able to put this on all the different platforms. So I decided to record it instead of doing a live. But if you guys are in the comments section and think that I should do a live and y'all come and we can converse. The folks, as Funky Dineva says, the folks like this say converse, but the folks like this say conversate. If y'all go come and conversate and converse with a girl, and y'all ain't gonna stand me up, then I'll do a live, and we can go ahead and do that, and talk, and laugh, and have some music. And I'm surprised that I didn't put any music behind this, but it is what it is, you guys. I don't need any copyright infringement, so let me go ahead and quickly give you guys the 10 things that you should be doing during this quarantine. Number one, get up. Don't allow depression or any other melancholy to lay on you. One of the things that my elders used to always say, especially my mom used to always say, is when you are sick, you want to get that essential rest, but you also want to get up and start walking around. Because the longer you lay in bed, the more you'll feel achy, the more you'll feel sick, the more you'll feel down. And in this instance, if you take this quarantine time and just lay around, after the initial just getting some rest for the first few days, then you're going to find yourself in a world of trouble when it comes to depression, when it comes to anxiety, fear, melancholy, and all of that. You have to recognize that this quarantine isn't everything, and I'm going to talk about that in a few numbers, right? A few dues, but you still have purpose and goals, and you still got to get up and get with it. So don't allow yourself to just lay around and drift. Number two, I want you to acknowledge God in all your ways. Proverbs 3:6 tells us that in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. You need to recognize that God knew that this pandemic would come. God knew what would happen. He knew we would be here. He knew that it may potentially affect your job. He knew that it would require you to go and spend money on groceries that you probably had allotted for something else. He knew that you would be here because he knows all things. But God didn't, this is a pandemic. And these are the things that kind of happen in the lives of men. This is life, not men as in male, but lives of humans. This is life. And so he is still on the throne, and he still has you, and he's still covering you and protecting you and providing for you. He has not forsaken you or forgotten you. He's got your back. So this too shall pass. You'll make it through this. So if you get up every single morning and acknowledge God in all your ways, it will help you to set your mind on the right things and keep you from wilding out on your loved ones. It'll keep you from when you get up and you set your heart and your mind, which is your soul, the seat of your desires, on the right things, then even though other things will come and try and knock you off your square, you will still have a good foundation and a good base to which you can reach back into. You've created distance between wilding and acting crazy because you have intentionally set purpose in your mind and your heart on what you were looking to do today. But when you wake up, going back to number one, when you wake up without purpose, without goals, or when you don't actually get up but you're just moving through life, then you are subject to be reactive into anything that comes to you. So get up, number one, and number two, acknowledge God in all your ways and set a buffer between you and a whole bunch of foolishness. Number three, And if I keep looking that way, that's because I'm drooling over the new roof because they is doing it. So if you hear some noise in the background, that's why they're back there putting that roof on. And I'm just like, because I'm going to get a new roof on this house, honey. I'm going to do a whole bunch of stuff over here, right? After the pandemic. Okay. So number 3 is kind of what you see me dealing with here. You got to get up and get dressed like you're still going to work. Just business casual. Like if you get up every day and you put on a suit, you got one of those types of jobs. I used to have one of those types of jobs. And of course, you don't want to get up and put on a suit unless you're just that dapper kind of guy. Right. But get up and get business casual. Get up and get clean. Zhuzh yourself up. Even if it's casual, get up and be intentional about what the things that you put on. Put on something that's going to be comfortable, something that's going to not cause you to, like, once again, cause you any discomfort, that's clean, that's pressed, right? Something that looks good, that regardless of if you're in the house or if you have to step out the house, you are dressed appropriately. Get up and get dressed. Don't lay around in your pajamas, because laying around in your pajamas is the equivalent of not getting up, right? Number 1 again. So get up and get dressed. That means you also need to bathe. Get up and get bathe. Now, I know for some people, because you're not going out and doing anything, because you may be home alone, you don't have to, and you're not going in the elements, you don't have to bathe every single day with a full-on shower and everything. You may do it every other day because you're not going out into the elements and you're not exerting yourself. I get that. I understand that. Some people won't understand it, but I understand it, right? But you do still need to get up and wash your face, brush your teeth, wipe under your arms, get into them crevices, because some of us have a little extra weight, right? And get into them crevices and clean yourself up. In addition to that, zhuzh up. As you can see, your girl doesn't really wear a lot of makeup, but I put a little mwah on my lips and a little rouge on my cheeks, right? And I put a little bit of mascara on my eyes to make my eyes pop. And then I came over and did my hair for y'all, and all it is a side ponytail, right? Just so that I could look good. It doesn't matter if I'm staying in the house. I still want to look good and feel good, because this is me. This is not a persona that I put on just to go out and see other people. This is actually who I am. And so I don't want to allow this pandemic to give me an excuse to slide into being something less than who I truly am. So get up, get dressed, get zhuzhed up, honey. Put your makeup on, put on some clean clothes, and then when you're done with that, then go into, the next room where you're going to spend majority of your time. Or your virtual home office. Do not lay around in your bedroom. Don't lay around in your bedroom. Going back to number 1. I'm not going to repeat it again. Get out of sleep mode. Get back into life mode. Do not allow this pandemic to get you out of life mode. It is an inconvenience on our lives, but it is not our lives. And I'm going to say that again later on in this presentation. But get out. Go into the other room. You should smell good when you decide to pick up a book and read it. You should smell good if you're in the kitchen cooking. You should smell good, if you got to go out in the yard and do some work, whatever. Be clean. Start with a good foundation, right? So do that. Let's see. I wrote here, even if you don't have the ability to work from home, still getting up and moving like you normally do and not being a slob is going to be appreciated by yourself internally, your soul. See, we're a spirit, soul, and physical body, but your soul, who you are, is going to feel better about it, and it's going to shine outwardly, and then other people will fall in line. It's about changing atmospheres. Number 4, don't lose your consistency. Keep your routines that can be handled inside the house or while you're out on essential business. Don't change. Don't lose your consistency. One of the hardest things to do, which is why sometimes you don't see me here on my business channels as often, is because every now and then I don't want to be consistent. Consistency is what breeds success. Many of us don't have everything in life we could have because we're not consistent. So don't allow this pandemic to give you an excuse to slide back into being inconsistent. If you have any modicum of success, you have worked to be consistent. So don't allow this to cause you to lose your forward momentum, because you're going to come out of this pandemic and you don't want to slide back into bad habits. So you have the same 24 hours now that you had before this pandemic. The blessing in the pandemic is that you now have less things to prioritize. So this morning you woke up, you no longer have to be in a rush to get dressed and to get the kids dressed and to get the kids fed and get into carpool and then do and the next thing and here, there, and there and get you a little bit of coffee before you get to the office. You don't got to do all of that right now. So you have less things that you have to prioritize, but you still need to be consistent. So you still want to get up, you still want to get dressed, you still want to get the kids ready, and then you want to redirect them into where they or the hubby or the wife or whomever is watching this has to go. But don't lose your consistency because you're going to atrophy. You're going to lose your muscle mass. You're going to lose strength. You're going to become a slob again. And it's going to be harder to rebuild after this if you lose your consistency now. Number 5, reconnect with family and friends outside of your home. Some of them people will be on Facebook, like I'm connecting with you guys on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, but I hope that you're also connecting with some people off. I'm two things that I am. I am a man fan. We'll talk about that in the future, and I am also a very big advocate for really loving on your elders because children are a blessing from the Lord, a gift from the Lord, and also considered an inheritance. But I also believe that elders are part of that inheritance because I am able to make the strides that I'm making because I'm standing on the shoulders of elders whose wisdom they have shared with me so that I can move forward. And so I find them, elders are of very, very high value to me. So I call them my old girls. I was old lady gang, I think, before Candy even had it because I have a whole crew of elder women because I am an old soul that have been in my life for forever, and they range in their ages from the mid-60s up into their 80s, early 90s. And so these old girls give me a run for my money. So I need to make sure that they're staying, that I'm staying connected with them while they're in a whole new world, just like we all are, but while they are going through this pandemic as well. I want to stay connected with them, and I want to keep them sprightly, and I want to keep them feeling like they are loved and somebody's thinking about them and not forgetting about them. And so the same thing with people in your life. Connect with your elders, connect with children outside of your home that you were still mentoring. Connect with friends that are single girl over here. Connect with your friends that are single and make sure that they are okay during all of this because a big issue is nobody wants to feel like they have been forgotten. And one of the things that people that are booed up take for granted is that you have somebody, if you have a good relationship, you have somebody that is very concerned about your well-being and where you are and would miss you if you were gone. If you weren't where you were supposed to be, they would wonder where you were. When you are single, that's not necessarily the case. You know, you got family and friends that are concerned about you, but they're used to you being over there and them being over here. So make sure you reconnect with family and friends. Here's something. Erykah Badu often says that she is an analog girl in a digital world. And so I take that to mean, one of the things I take that to mean means to go back to being old school. Call your people. Call your people on the phone. Right? I get so tired because when people say, well, I texted you. Let me tell y'all something. One of the reasons why I haven't been on here as much is because for a minute there, I broke my Android phone. The screen cracked. And so, I thought my life was going to be over, but it's okay. I'm still living. I'm good. I had to check myself. But my phone broke to where I could receive calls on it, but I can't make calls on it. I can't get to my files on the phone. I can't even unlock the phone screen, so I had to go get another phone. I'm on an iPhone right now, you guys. So if it's not as crystal clear and beautiful, it's because I'm Team Android, right? Okay. So I had to go get a phone. And getting this phone, I had to kind of reorganize some things, put IG and my apps on this and figure out different things, and I couldn't use my pro video and pro picture settings on this. I got to figure out how to do it over here. But you know, people were like, well, we were texting you. Did you call me? Call me to see if I'm okay. Call me to see if there's something wrong. If you don't hear from somebody, call them. Go over there and knock on their door. Go knock on the door. Go see how they do it. Social distancing. Yeah. But go check on people. Be an analog man or woman or girl in a digital world, right? Don't allow the digital world to keep you from connecting with people. Because, see, we are, what is that what someone says? People are the main thing. The person is the main thing. All right, so let me keep going because I don't want this to be too long. Here's another thing that I do. I go outside like I did when I was a kid, and I sit in the yard and get my vitamin D, right? Because you got to get that vitamin D, right? And I will work and sometimes talk on the phone outside in the yard just to get a little bit of sun, right? Because I'm getting a little pale and I need my tan back, right? Not only that, I speak to my neighbors over the fence. I was just talking to my neighbor the other day, and we were just laughing and jaw-jacking about different things. And I checked with her. I said, if you and the family need anything, let me know. See, because there's a chance that I went and got some things or had things in my storage that they never were able to get. Do y'all need some beans? You need some corn? You need some eggs? You need some paper towels? You need some toilet tissue? No, girl, we okay. But we went and bought a whole bunch of, at that time, she had went and bought a whole bunch of burritos, gourmet burritos. She was like, you want one? And, she slid it on over there. Go outside and talk to your neighbors. Have a dance off with your neighbors. Stay in your yard, right? Because we are social distancing, right? But go outside and conversate or converse. What that does is that provides community. That's going to enhance the immune system like nothing else. So that vitamin D and communicating with people in your community outside of digital means is going to provide a real big boost in your immune system, and you need that in this time. We need whatever we can, all the vitamin C, the echinacea, the talking, and the community we can get in this season. Number 7, just a few more. Go on a phone date. One thing that we as women especially said, and I know there's men watching this because I think I'm going to put this on the I Am Grooming Company channel as well. But one of the things that, I can't say it's just women, but one of the things that adults often say is that they find that dating is meaningless and hard. And the reason being is because we're always sending our representative, and then we're always saying silly, stupid stuff that we think that people want to hear. But go on a phone date. And I don't mean sexting, right? Like, you're grown, do whatever you want to do. But really, go take this time to go on a phone date. I think that this pandemic is a blurred, which is a black nerd's best friend, right? Because now is a time when you can call and be called by your blurred hottie, right? And talk about stuff that most people would think is uncool to talk about, let's say, on a first date or in person. It's stuff that people would learn about you as they kind of got close to you if they got to the second, third, and fourth dates, right? But now is the time that you could talk to your blurred about your hobbies and the things that you dream and aspire to be without fear of running them off. Now is when you could talk about chemistry, and I was just talking to somebody about Civil War history. We were on the phone for a couple of hours talking about it. And it was like, whoa, it was nice. Now is the time when you could talk to them about knitting and crocheting and how you like to do woodworking. Now is that time to talk to them because honestly, where they got to be. They can get off the phone with you and go back to Netflix or whatever other digital streaming service, but that gets tired. It gets old real fast. So where else they gonna be? Talk to them about your life, girl. So number 8, start hobbies that you kept putting off when you had all these other things that took precedence or priority over what you were doing. So now's the perfect time for you to start a cooking channel. So I shout out to my cousin Tona. Tona is a cook of cooks, right? So she really needs to be having her own cooking channel on YouTube, teaching young women, especially, how to do a real macaroni and cheese, 4 cheese, without all that extra stuff. We don't put certain things in our macaroni and cheese. So she should have a cooking channel to mentor young women, right? Now is a good time to find some new channels. Like, I really love the car detailing and like the carpet cleaning channels. I love it. I can't think of them off the cuff on what their names would be, but I love those channels, right? And then speaking of YouTube, so this is our number 9. Now is the time for you to get some practice on those hairstyles and techniques that have been kind of eluding you that you've always wanted to learn. Like, I'm a self-taught braider, so I braid my own hair. And I think I did good, guys. I'm a little blonde, a little gray blonde today. Got a little ashy. I've been dying to do it, which is another thing. I've been dying to put color in my hair because I was a corporate girl, I couldn't do it, right? So now is the perfect time for you to practice those techniques. YouTube really helped me I already knew how to braid, but YouTube helped me to make it look more professional. And so to the point that I'm willing to wear it for a few weeks and leave the house and look good, and folks be like, who did your hair, right? So now is number 9 is now is the perfect time to learn a new craft or to practice techniques. Do that. Once again, you got the same 24 hours that you had before, but they're just prioritized different. Number 10, this is the last one. I want you to recognize that this is a pandemic, but it is nothing more than an inconvenience and not the end of your life. I understand that we do have some loved ones that it has been contributed to the ending of their life. But for the vast majority of us, this too shall pass, right? And so you want to make sure you don't waste this time getting slower, fatter, and dumber, and instead use this time to get stronger, slimmer, and wiser, right? So use this to do that. So recognize this, that everything in life is a matter of perspective. It's how you see it. You can see it as a curse, and it has curse elements to it, or you can say, you know what, but I'm more than an overcomer, and I can pull blessings up out of this. You can fall into a fearful, anxious, pandemonium-like froggy mindset, or you can thank God for the opportunity to get some much-needed rest and to reassess what is most important in your life. And hopefully what's most important in your life is the main thing, with your people. And so that's all I have. Those are the 10 quarantine do's that I have for you guys today. I may get on here later on and talk again, but I do also want to mention that, as always, I'll meet you guys in the comment section if you have any comments. I love dialogue with me, but also amongst other viewers of this content. So please dialogue. Let's converse about it, or conversate, as cousins say, right? And then also I want to let you know of a couple other things. I'm trying to really provide you with content that's going to give you make you think. And so I just recently uploaded a video on a review of some of the problematic creative licenses that Netflix took with the Self-Made, Inspired by the Life of Madam C.J. Walker miniseries that they just had. And so that is also on our YouTube channel, and I'm going to try and put that on the Makeba IGTV, like a snippet of it, but I'm still working on that. And then also I wanted to let you know that, because the main thing is the main thing, I've also gone over to the Makeba page and put in a coupon for that's Q Chill, so QCHILL, and it's going to give you 15% off for the foreseeable future, because if you're going to look good during the season, you want to have your Holy Grail products. And so it's not a lot, because we're all suffering over here, but it will help you with your shipping, it will help you with your taxes, and I just wanted to throw that out there to help you. So that's it, you guys. Thank you for taking this time to listen to me. And if there are any quarantine do's that you want to add, drop them in the comment section, and they may make it into the next video. All right, you guys. Mwah. Love you. Bye.